It's Amy Joob. Woo! Welcome, Amy. I am so happy to have you here today. And you have a very interesting topic because I love your energy and it's been such a delight to get to know you. But interestingly, your topic isn't that, I don't know, I want to say energetic, but it's actually surrounding grief, which we seem to have a lot of joy on this screen. But I think that there's a way to that joy through the grief. And I want you to share with everybody, what are we talking about today?
Yes. Thank you so much, Sherry, for having me on. It's such an honor to be here. And you're right, there is joy, but it's not always when you're going through grief are you stuck in that joy. And so I wrote this book, Arise from Grief and Flourish Again, for anyone who is grieving any major loss or life change. And I think that joy comes in the morning. I think of that verse, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. So obviously, maybe I'm at this other side coming out of grief, but maybe you're right in the middle of it. Or maybe you've worked through something and you're dealing with something else. So that's the premise of this book and what we're talking about today.
I love that. And I know we had a conversation previous to this, is that there are lots of kinds of grief. It's not just one thing. I think initially everybody thinks, oh, they've lost somebody. But there's lots of kinds of grief, isn't there, Amy? Can you just give a kind of a snapshot of maybe what kind of person that this book that you have just released, what kind of person is that for, and who would be experiencing this? Who would that be?
Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking of different people groups. Maybe, like you said, you've lost a loved one, they've died. Maybe you've lost a loved one by suicide. Maybe you're slowly losing a loved one to dementia or some major medical condition. Maybe you've had a child go away to college on the other side of the country, or maybe you've relocated to a new state or a new country, or maybe you've had to start over in your job or your career. So these are all different types of losses and different types of things that we grieve through. And so I address these different things in my book.
I just love that because I think sometimes people don't acknowledge that there are various forms of grief. It isn't just the loss of a person, just like the loss of like your community moving. And I know you moved and uprooted as well. And I think that sometimes we push that aside and we don't think about that's a real thing. And people have to acknowledge and go through it, to grow through it. They have to, if you just stuff it down and say, I shouldn't be feeling that way, I'm a big person, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I love that you've created this resource. So tell us a little bit about how long did it take you to assemble this book and what was your process?
Sure. So I started writing this book in January of 2024, and it's been almost 20 months since I started. And we had just moved 6 months before I started writing it, and moved from Chicagoland down to Southwest Florida. And so that was premise, but also having lost my dad suddenly in 22, and then going through some major betrayal and hurt in our community. And so that was also a premise. And I thought, you know what? I know a lot of other people are also really reeling, not only just from the effects of the pandemic, but people have been through hurt, betrayal, just major things have happened in life. And I'm like, okay, I need to write about this because I know I'm not the only one.
I love that. And there's so many layers to this. It's not cut and dried. And there's a lot of steps that people go through along this process. So for you, in the book, what's one big takeaway like that you maybe came to your own aha while writing the book that really sticks out to you as the author as, oh, wow, like your own aha through the process?
Sure. I think like leaning into the grief. I think a lot of times we try to run from it and we try to just power through, or we talked about just being strong and confident women and we've been accomplished in life. And then you hit these major things that just feel like they take you out. And so I think being in that place to say, you know what, I'm going to give myself permission to grieve and really work through these emotions and lean into it, and then allow community to come in. I feel like that's another big part of it. When we've been hurt, in the initial stages, we want to isolate, kind of go in our cave and hide. And maybe that's normal and healthy. But eventually you need to come out and really find a trusted person, and maybe even like a grief share group, place to process in community, because I really think we heal in community as well. And so that's another aha moment for me.
Oh, I think that's amazing. And I think sometimes we forget, because like I do we call turtling, where you pull your head in, you go into your shell, and then nothing can hurt you because the shell is hard and you're protected. But honestly, that is the way. The path to healing really does involve that community. It involves other people, because nobody is, even if you're unpartnered or whatever, a single person, like, you still have community. We are in community everywhere we go. So I think that's a really excellent point. So let's talk about, how can somebody get the book?
Okay, so it's available on Amazon. It's in both the ebook, and you can also get a print book. So either way, it'll be available there. And then if you want to stay tuned on my socials, I'm hoping to come to different places, speak or do book events. Yeah, stay tuned.
I love that. And I know I want to just touch real quickly on the speaking. So, because I have just so enjoyed getting to know you and would love to hear you speak, what sort of events or things as a speaker, what would you like to do? What if somebody's listening and they say, oh, I want to get Amy Joob on this summit or on this? What is it that you'd be looking for in terms of that? Or what kind of groups or churches, whatever, what kind of events are you looking for?
I think in the past, I've spoken at women's events. I've spoken at churches, conferences, retreats. I've spoken online. Yeah, I could do lunch and learn. So I have a couple of messages that I have around this topic. One is just based on my book, Arise from Grief. And then one is when you're called to lead, but you need to grieve. So I have a couple of messages that are on my heart based on the book. So yeah, I'm open to different venues.
I love that phrase, when you're called to lead.
Yep. Yeah, when you're called to lead, but you need to grieve.
Yeah. Yes, that is the best saying. I love that.
Yes.
If I had said it more eloquently, it would have landed better. But I actually really love that, because I think that's true. Like, especially as women, we have so many roles, right? And we have to do these things. And yet we do have to give ourselves the space to grieve in order to lead effectively. And we tend to push through. And sometimes when you push through, you push down, and then that's not really going through. It impedes that progress. So that's awesome. I know, because a little birdie told me, I know you have something really exciting coming up later this fall as well. I just want you to just touch on that briefly, because getting the book and reading the book will be a great stepping stone into what you have coming. Amy, can you share with us what you have coming?
Yes. So this fall in October, I'm planning to do a group coaching around this book, Arise from Grief and Flourish Again. It will be online, 8 sessions over 4 months. So we'll meet bi-weekly, and there will be homework involved. And so it will be a process of reading through the book, but more than just like a book study. It'll be a coaching program designed to get you unstuck and help you to arise and flourish in the purpose that God's given you.
Oh, I love that. Who wouldn't want to arise and flourish, right? After any type of grief. I love that. And it gives such hope. I think that's a big message that I'm hearing from you and I'm seeing from you, is that you're not stuck or broken, and you don't have to stay there. You can move on with your life. You can arise and have joy again. And it's one of the things I love about you. It comes through even on the screen, that joy for life that you have, even though you've been through some stuff. And I want that for everyone watching, to be able to have that easy path, or a simple path. I don't want to say necessarily easy. I don't know that it's easy, but the simple path to follow for success, to pull yourself out of that. And I want to just say thank you so much, Amy Joob, for being here today. And wow, when I say look who's here, what a wonderful woman, and a true wow warrior, a woman of worth. It's been an honor to talk with you today. And I hope people will go to the link and just grab that book on Amazon and dive in and get started in your own journey of healing. Is there anything you just want to say as a last tidbit for everyone?
Yeah, I just want to tell people out there, there's always hope. Kind of what Sherry just said, even if you're in the thick of it, in the middle of the valley, and it just seems so dark, you're not stuck there. I've been there more than once. And I just want you to know, it's my faith in God that's really given me strength, but He will see you through. Think of Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. He'll bring you through to the other side. So don't give up.
Amen. Thank you so much, Amy Joob. You are a treasure, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being with me today.
Yeah, thank you, Sherry. It's a blessing. Appreciate you.